Meeting for May 5th. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Mr. Borthwick?
Here.
Mr. Casey? Mrs. Chesak? Present. Ms. Fox? Present. Mr. McAndrew? Present. Ms. Merkel? Here. Ms. Strzelecki?
Present.
Mrs. Yanni?
Present.
Mr. Holmes?
Present.
8 present, 1 absent.
I will now turn it over to the Education Community Chair.
Okay, yes, thank you. We are going to start with number 1, preschool. Give that to Mr. O'Donnell.
Thank you, Director Fox. Just an update. I was fortunate enough this past week to attend a preschool-wide state convention with Mrs. Murphy and Mrs. Griebeck. Right now, there are no updates at the federal level. Everything is status quo, but I am proud to announce that as of today, we will have 3 preschool classes next year within the school district, 1 at Charles Sumner, 1 at McNichols Plaza, and 1 at John Adams School. There will be 17 kids in each of those schools. In the next couple days, we will have on our website the procedure for registration to go to these schools. This is a great thing, and I want to thank the entire school board led by Director President Mr. Holmes for allowing us to bring something back to the district which is well needed, and I think it will benefit the kids that need it the most within the school district. And under Dr. Keating's leadership, this is just the beginning. We plan on adding more classes as the years come forward, but this is a great day for the Scranton School District, and I want to congratulate the board on allowing this initiative to go through.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, Director.
Will that be through Head Start or will
Yes,
it be on
these 3 classrooms will be through Head Start, and any updates as I will inform the board if there are other classes that become available.
Thank you for the clarification.
And
Yes.
do you see that as a strong possibility? To be
I would hope so. We are working, Dr. Keating is working tirelessly on this effort, and we are working with people in the community to bring more classes, but we definitely have 3, and we're hopeful to have more, but we never count our eggs before they're hatched.
I gotcha. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that information.
Thank you, Director Fox.
We will now move to curriculum updates. Ms. Griebeck?
Good evening. I never know how close to get to these things. Well, we've had a lot of curriculum updates this year, and I'm really thankful to the work that the teachers did in updating the curriculum. The ones that you have in front of you this evening are social studies and preschool, and coming to you next month, or this month for June approval, will be the music and the middle school art. And I'm going to hand it over to Katona to give you some updates on science. Does anyone have any questions about the music and the art? Okay, they will be coming to you in your packets this month, and hopefully with a motion to approve in June. Thanks.
Good evening. So in the agenda tonight, you have the K through 8 STEELS curriculum for approval. Next month, you'll have the 9 through 12 as we finalize on our last professional development day, some fine tuning to those curriculums. We've also rolled out the STEELS pilot for grades K-8. I have about 35 teachers across 13 of the buildings in the district demoing out some of those units so that we can get feedback on ways that we can improve the rollout for next school year. So I'll be working at the end of this school year through the summer with making sure that we order all the supplies, kits, and materials that the teachers need, as well as organizing some future training for them as well. That's pretty much it that I have.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Thank you. We
Okay.
will go to the science of reading. Back to Ms. Griebeck.
I'm really excited about this. The science of reading is a state mandate, and we have been working really hard to plan and implement a very thoughtful professional development for our school district. This has to be embraced district-wide. So this year, we began with our elementary educators, so K through 4 were given opportunities to participate in for pay. They were paid to attend after-school trainings for the science of reading. The teachers that still have to complete that will have that opportunity during our Professional Development Day, May 20th. We're really excited about planning the next phase in training for our secondary educators. And what that will look like is our middle school and high school teachers will be provided an opportunity to have the same training our elementary teachers had, but based on the survey, we surveyed our teachers and we asked, what are they looking for, where do they feel they're strong, and where do they feel there's a need? So based on their feedback, we are going to be doing the science of reading as well as some vocabulary instruction and research-based reading strategies for our secondary. In combination with that, this first phase opened our eyes to things that our teachers were wanting. So the Professional Development Committee, who meets to plan the PD during the year, received feedback from teachers and from the survey that now teachers are asking, after we gave them the framework of the science of reading, they would like specific instruction on specific aspects of reading. So next year, in combination with the secondary, we are going to be running very tailor-made trainings for our elementary folks to build on what they're learning, what they've learned this year. So teachers will have an opportunity to log in and have a very interactive conversation and learn about different areas where they are asking for more professional development to grow as a reading teacher. So we have a lot of things going on this year around the science of reading.
And I need to do a public service announcement here. We're able to do all this because of Title II professional development funds. And if we lose that from the federal level, opportunities like this for very important and necessary trainings for our staff go away.
Any questions? Okay, I'm going to hand it over to Bert Gentileza now.
Good evening, everyone. I just wanted to give you a testing update. We just concluded the PSSAs on Thursday. We're in the makeup phase, and I want to just let you know that we had a very successful online testing experience over the last week and a half. Everything went very, very well, so we're very, very proud of that. This week starts the AP exam testing, and next week, Monday, we'll start the Keystone exam testing in algebra, literature, and biology, and intermediate level algebra. Then what happens is we have a data timetable that will take place during the first half of the summer. So in June, the preliminary PSSA file will be released. In July, the Keystone file will be released. I will set up data, and I will report it out to the principals. It will be preliminary in the beginning of July. AP data will be released. But in the meantime, from the official scores from that time, from the preliminary report until the official PSSA and Keystone results will come in. Keystones will come in right before school starts. PSSA will come in halfway through the first quarter. The principals will have some kind of data for me to share with them. In between that time frame will be attribution windows, correction windows, where some students that did belong to us will be attributed to us. Some students that didn't belong to us will be attributed to other schools. So the principals will still have some information to work on it over the course of the summer with their lead teachers. And then in November is when a boatload of final data comes out as far as our PVAS result, Future Ready, PA Index, and our building level scores. In dual enrollment, we are working very hard. Our strategic plan committee is working on our goals to increase the number of dual enrollment courses, improve awareness, improve articulation agreements as part of our goal-oriented process with the dual enrollment. And we are going to meet an end-of-year meeting with the local college reps on furthering, expanding our dual enrollment opportunities at the end of this month. And pretty much that's it for me.
I just want to say to all the teachers, principals, IT staff, admin, everybody who put time in getting the PSSAs together. I know it's a big lift and it's a stressful week, so thanks everybody for what they do. We have a great staff. You guys are the best, so thank you.
Yes, I also want to thank Mr. Suma and his IT staff. They did a great job overseeing the online procedure. It was great. It really was. Just maybe a little hiccup here and there, but it's nothing that we didn't overcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we'll have gifted procedures from Ms. Jeanette.
Good evening, everyone. The Special Ed Department, we have a couple of highlights for you. We have finished our gifted procedural book, and it has been approved by the state, so all we're left to do is start implementing it. So our gifted procedures and guidelines are all up to par, and they are been approved by the state. Special Ed will be running a boot camp for new and emergency certed teachers. Boot camp will be August 18th, 19th, and 20th. We will be offering IEP writing, Ames Web training, special programs training, FBA, and positive behavior support plans, just to mention a few. We will also be running a boot camp for paraprofessionals and PCAs. That will be August 25th and August 26th, and that's offered by the NEIU. We're working in conjunction with the NEIU. We will also be doing safe crisis management training, which will be May 19th and 20th for some paras and PCAs, and then August 20th and 21st will be for the other ones that we missed. Early intervention. We have now brought in, registered 166 early intervention children with special needs. Our kindergarten readiness that we have been doing across the district has also helped us identify about 20 more students that we did not get through the IU or the agencies. For this school year, we are looking to open 6 elementary autistic support classrooms, 1 center-based autistic support classroom, 1 elementary emotional support classroom, 1 ages 19 to 21 transitional life skills classrooms, and 1 high school autistic support classroom. We will be doing ESY this year again. It'll be July 7th, 2025 to July 24th. It'll run Monday through Thursday from 9 to 12. And as of right now, we have approximately 300 autistic life skills and emotional support kids enrolled in that program. We are going to have a couple of special activities. We have Champ, the Rail Riders mascot. We have the therapeutic ponies coming down. And the last week, we have an ice cream truck. Parent support group. We have been running parent support groups throughout the school year, starting in September. We run them about an hour before your board meetings. We've had very poor attendance for our parent support groups, but we have taken all our presentations and things, and they are now on our website. So parents can look at them at their will. Anybody have any questions?
And I think it's really important. You said 160 early intervention transition. 4 years ago, that number was in the 60s or the 70s.
You're absolutely correct.
So that number is staggering compared to what it's been in the past.
We have increased over the last 4 years about 20 kids, 20 early intervention kids every year. Last year, well, actually it doubled, because last year we only have 91, and we went up to 166 this year.
And again, how many autistic support classrooms are we currently running?
We currently have 20, and even opening the new classrooms that
Just
we
5.
have, right, 6.
6, sorry.
Even opening those classrooms, our autistic support classrooms will be pretty much maxed out across the district.
And they do not include Monticello.
No, that's not Monticello
Right,
at all.
that is just classes that are in buildings.
Yes.
So opening up, opening up 6 autistic support classrooms takes 6 full classrooms, because you need 28 square feet per child for those full-time classrooms. From expanding pre-K, from doing other things, because we need to have those classrooms for our exceptional children. So our numbers are growing exponentially, especially in the world of autistic support. It is very important that we all focus in on that.
How is that affecting our space needs?
It's dramatically affecting our space needs.
And one other thing you have to include when you have an autistic classroom, that usually comes with PT services, OT services, speech services, social work services, and behaviors people. So you not only have the classroom, but they also need a space to work in. And when you have multiple services like that, they can't always share the same room, although we do rotate them pretty good.
And just so everyone knows, this is not a Scranton-specific issue. Ours is always intensified and on steroids because of our size. But I'll be at the superintendent's meeting on Wednesday. You're hearing it from the smaller districts, from everyone, just the dramatic increase in early intervention transitions, in the need for full-time classes, for autistic support and emotional support. So this will dramatically impact space in buildings every time we need a room for our exceptional students so that they can have the education that they need. So I know it's a long meeting, but I needed to make sure that that was very clear to everyone.
And Superintendent Keating, are there any ideas we're tossing around to what does the future look like for the district to address this issue at hand?
Yeah, and I've been on long-term and short-term plans with, what can we do to free up some space. Right now, I've been on a road tour of a lot of different properties. I know I put that in my goals to you, to hopefully by the next time we're in a work session, bring forward a formal recommendation. But it's not something people were planning for, and I think that's the big thing. I don't think anybody was sitting around going, oh, I'm going to need 6 more autistic classes for the 25-26 school year. And that's 6 more classrooms where we're taking that classroom in an elementary school and trying to create that area. And then on top of that, remember last year on the first day of school, we had 19 students who were ultimately classified as autistic show up to our regular kindergarten classes. So that when Ann is saying that we may still have, this 6 classes will get us kind of to where we need with a couple spots, it's not 19 spots if we had a year like we did last year. So this is a very important issue to bring to your attention.
Can I ask you, Dr. I'm sorry, go ahead. You sure?
Ladies first.
Dr. Keating, Mr. O'Donnell, I was encouraged when I heard that there was participation in the parent support groups. So to hear, Ms. Jeanette say that it's gone down, thoughts on how we can...
2 different groups. Al has a parent group that is everybody. It's global.
Okay.
Ann's is just specifically a
Special
support group for special education children.
Thoughts on how we can get that outreach to those parents, how we can get them to...
We've tried virtual, we've tried in person, we've tried food.
Did you really try food again and again? Because food is
a big thing.
Driving factor.
I think with the parent support groups, with ours, especially special ed, I think it's very difficult sometimes for parents to get out after hours because they have their kids and there's nobody to babysit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Maybe childcare would be an option if we could work with
that
some
might be
hours or
something
something.
huge to think about. I don't know how we go about that, but...
Mr. O'Donnell is not having that problem. He is having full participation in his meetings, correct, Mr. O'Donnell?
Yes, we are. We have a great parent group, and what's even better than the parent group, we have a student advisory group, and actually next Monday and Tuesday we'll be having meetings, one with the parent group and one with the student advisory group. No offense, the student advisory group is much better to listen to the kids in the middle school and the high school, and they talk about some issues and things that they want to see. It's great. It's great to meet with them and having a lot of fun.
He feeds them better than we do.
Yes, yes, I do. They get pizza.
Yeah, well, let's...
I was going to say, is it pizza? Because everybody
Let's
comes
think
for
about
pizza.
that, yeah. That might work.
So, Ms. Jeanette, in response to something you said earlier, that additionally with all these kids that are getting additional support going to classrooms, who is in charge overall of ensuring that we are allocating proper space in each classroom? For instance, if a kindergarten, we're supposed to have space allocation. Every time we add an adult, that multiplies by 2 because we initially do it for a child. So every time we had an adult, that's two. I've walked into some classrooms where I guarantee you that's not being taken into consideration. Who does that responsibility fall under? How do we ensure that we're not violating that? And what is the plan going forward to ensure that we don't end up on the wrong side of this with EMS, fire department, or whatever, zoning? This was brought up when we were, I believe at Neil Lawrence, one of the other schools, where I specifically asked the fire marshal about this. When we're adding the adults to the classrooms, what risk do we run of potentially violating safe space or violating fire code? So whose responsibility will that fall under?
Well, the classrooms have to be walked by the Department of Education. So when we open up new rooms, there's actually, our liaison will come out and work with Ann to make sure that everything is where it needs to be.
That's at the beginning, as it grows throughout the year,
Well,
because
every time we move a special ed classroom, or anytime we open a special ed classroom, I have to bring in Gina Giovini from the state, and she comes out with her little tape measure, and she measures. So as long as the room measures 27.5 feet per child, then she approves the room. As far as, are you talking about the added PCAs and that in the
I'm talking
classroom?
about even regular ed classes that we have additional.
I don't know that there's any regs
That's why I
as
don't think
far as
that's regular
special ed goes for,
There's no space allocation for regular ed? That's contrary to what we were told by the fire marshal. That's why I'm concerned. Was it 2 years ago we
Well,
were at?
that fire code would be different from PDE code.
Okay, but that's where I'm concerned with fire code in Scranton,
I will,
not PD.
I will figure that out.
I'm worried about the safety here, and that's something I think we've overlooked. I want to make sure that we are in compliance, but more importantly, that we are providing that safety in case something happens. Again, our people have the ability to get out safely, and we're not overstuffing these classrooms. Because I've walked by a couple, and it was packed. And there's no way you could safely evacuate adults and children out of those classrooms.
I got it on my to-do list.
Okay, if no one has further, does anyone have further questions before we move along?
Ann,
yes?
have we heard about any cuts in special ed because of the Trump cuts?
Nothing solid. I haven't heard of anything, you know, they keep talking about different things, but I think until we actually get some evidence of it, we have to go status quo.
We could probably count on them being less than more, correct?
I don't see us getting any big increases in special ed.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
We will move on to University of Virginia Partnership for Education update. Mr. DeLuca.
Who was just coaching the Little League game.
Also,
I was just going to say,
the board
did you
members, I
win?
sent you the detailed agenda if you need that to follow along or further
you win?
information. Thank you.
Did you win?
Did you win?
I left in the 5th inning. My son wasn't happy with me. But we were winning. We were winning. Yeah. So, yeah, I apologize for my attire. It's not something I typically wear to a board meeting, but I just stepped off the
You're
board.
good.
So just a brief update on the University of Virginia program. I know we've been talking about this. Dr. Keating has discussed it for a little while. Put some information in your packet as well. In March, we attended the Ignite program with the superintendent and the central office staff. It was a great program to really, they call it Ignite because it kind of kicks off the program. As we move forward, there's been some virtual trainings that myself and the central office, as well as the superintendent, has followed along with. And then we're going to be attending the executive education kickoff in July. Myself, 6 principals, and some central office staff members as well. As part of this, we're conducting our school readiness assessments. So far, we've completed West Intermediate, Northeast Intermediate, and Neil Armstrong. This week, we'll be doing Isaac Tripp. Next week, we'll be doing Francis Willard, and then following up with South Intermediate as well. Those school readiness assessments are really important because at the end of them, I give the principals a 2-page summary of basically all the findings we had from different focus groups. We talked to teachers, we talked to students, we talked to union membership. We go through just some different things with each building principal, and we identify some of the areas they're doing good and some areas for improvement. So at the end of that, I give the principals a 2-page document, and that document they're going to bring with them to the executive education program in July, and that will become the basis of their 90-day plans that they'll base for their systematic improvements moving forward.
Really exciting program. Really thankful to PDE for letting us be part of this.
Yes, this is really great information. Sorry for you rushing here for
No
your
problem.
2 minutes, but we greatly appreciate it. and
No problem.
appreciate
Thank you.
the information. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
We're going to move on to the middle school pull-out instrumental music lessons. Ms. Griebeck.
As a result of several meetings that Dr. Keating and I had with our music educators, some of the takeaways were a way to build and foster a love for music and start to rebuild our music program. So beginning next year, we are going to be offering 5th grade pull-out instrumental music lessons. And then the following year, 26-27, it'll be 5th grade and 6th grade. In your board packet last week, I gave you a rundown of, we're also offering after school if students are interested, and in addition to the contractual music offerings we offer during the day. In a way to assess what students are interested in and to show them what's available, we will be meeting to coordinate visits with the high school music students and the high school music teachers. They're going to go to the elementary schools, and we're going to have an assembly, and they'll show the 4th graders the instruments that are available, how to play them, and drum up some interest in who may want to play what, and then that will generate a tentative list for the fall. So when students begin 5th grade, those music educators have a list of students that would be interested in those pull-out 5th grade opportunities.
We're also going to eventually look to partner with one of the local providers, and Ann and I need to do some research on that so that we could look for people to be able to rent instruments, as well as get you some costs on some of the repairs that need to be done.
Yeah, we're actually looking into that right now. I have a lot of feedback from the music educators. Thank you for the name. We're gathering information on who tunes pianos, who repairs instruments, getting some information from them to pass on to our music educators. Many of the high school teachers have already had pianos tuned, but we still are investigating more research on who does what, so we can build that information in to provide to our teachers. Any questions?
So for 2027 and beyond, are we looking at, I know it's far off, but the possibility of year-round music for our middle schoolers?
We would need to look at staffing at that time too.
Yeah.
So essentially what this does is it gives us 2 years to start the lessons to see where we are in interest, so that I have a better need of staffing needs to come back to you in that spring of 27 to say, here's what we're going to need to really.
So it's a step toward building.
It's a step.
Yep.
Yeah, and one of the email correspondences that we had were that our bands are growing to the point where we don't have enough room on buses for the kids who are showing interest, and it's great to see that interest is growing and that we're investing in it, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
You know, just to follow up on Director Borthwick's statements there, I was just looking at that email that you sent us, Dr. Keating, of April 29th regarding the marching band information. And I think you've indicated in there, and our instructors have indicated, that there may be a need for, additional transportation if we want to take on more students in our marching bands, and perhaps additional assistant directors. You ask in that memo if we would want that on our March or our May work session. So I'd like to recommend that we do have you add that information.
It's funny,
to
I
that.
actually just emailed today, recently, just this evening, the 2 band directors to see if Friday they can meet with Ann Grebeck and I just to kind of get better numbers around some of those things, because there were some percussion requests in there that I needed pricing on and stuff like that, so I have more solid numbers. So I could definitely make sure, Mrs. Orr, that is on the work session for May.
Yeah, I think that's great to hear that we have more than 48 students that are interested at both schools. So I think just as we look at our sports and arranging transportation for all the players on all of our sports teams, we need to make this a priority as well. So I'm looking forward to receiving that information.
Keep working.
Yes, I think this is really great, and I agree. We need to even out where the money goes in terms of extracurriculars or in-school opportunities as well. So I'm glad that we're having these conversations. Thank you for that. Next is partnership with Friendship House. Ms. Hempel.
Hello, everyone. I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about an exciting proposal that came in from Friendship House, one of our community partners, to highlight May, which is Mental Health Awareness Month, and to do that by partnering with our high school art program. So they have proposed that our art students create some artwork to raise awareness about mental health, and then they will display the students' artwork in their new downtown center, which if you haven't seen yet, go and see. It's beautiful, the Friendship House new building downtown. And then they'll choose one of the pieces of art and make that into some T-shirts for their staff and for all of the students who participated. So it was a little bit of a late proposal because it came right at the end of April, but they want to do it in May. So I appreciate you adding that to the agenda tonight. And does anyone have any questions on it?
I think it's a fabulous idea. I was able to make it on our first Friday to see some of our high school students' artwork down at City Hall. So I think this is along those same lines, but I really like the idea.
Great, and I just want to say thank you to Friendship House for coming up with the proposal, and to our high school principals and art staff who are willing to partner with us. So thank you.
Thank you. And our final item at this time will be technology. Mr. Suma?
I need to publicly apologize, Mr. Suma, because leading up to the PSAs, I was in his office 3 times a day going, are we ready? Are we ready? Are we ready? Are you sure we're ready? Are we ready?
Before I get to my item, I just want to, again, publicly thank my team. You're only as good as your team members are, and my guys did a phenomenal job of making sure that they could rest assured the concerns of the principals in all the buildings to make sure that the devices are ready for PSSAs. Any of the kids that had issues during the time frame of the PSSAs, they were there quickly to change out devices or to address any concerns. So from my standpoint, I got a great team behind me and really appreciative for all the work that they did provide during the PSSA exams. My item is just strictly informational. We've talked about the SIS evaluations, the Student Information System evaluations that I brought up a few times earlier. We are conducting those evaluations right now. We had Power School, eSchool Plus in on Friday. We had Skyward in today. Tomorrow we have Infinite Campus and Synergy, and the committee has really been impressed with all the new traits and new characteristics that these systems are providing. It's been a really eye-opening experience for everybody. That's all I got.
As part of the evaluation, do we look at what other districts of similar size are using?
Yeah, in fact, a lot of these partner with local schools as well. Skyward today talked about their partnerships with the Wyoming Valley West, Wyoming area, Pittston area. eSchool Plus has Wallenpaupack, Delaware Valley as their partners. Infinite Campus has North Pocono, Abington Heights, Forest City, somebody else local that I can't think of off the top of my head. Synergy has Bethlehem area. Infinite Campus also partners with the School District of Philadelphia. They've got some, a lot of these vendors have a lot. They're more the nationally known vendors for the SIS programs. So we do have really a broad presentation of programs that are being used across the board.
Thank you.
Sure.
Does anyone have any other questions? Okay, I'll turn this back over to President Holmes.
Motion to adjourn. Anybody need a break?
Good.
I call to order board meeting from May 5th. Roll call.
Mr. Borthwick?
Here.
Mr. Casey? Mrs. Chesak? Present. Ms. Fox?
Present.
Mr. McAndrew?
Present.
Ms. Merkel?
Here.
Ms. Strzelecki?
Here.
Mrs. Yanni?
Present.
Mr. Holmes?
Present.
8 present, 1 absent.
Motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
On the question? Roll call.
Mr. Borthwick?
Yes.
Mrs. Chesak?
Yes.
Ms. Fox?
Yes.
Mr. McAndrew?
Yes.
Ms. Merkel?
Yes.
Ms. Strzelecki?
Yes.
Mrs. Yanni?
Yes.
Mr. Holmes?
Yes.
8 affirmative. Executive sessions were held on April 7th and this evening to discuss personnel litigation, real estate negotiations, and safety.
At this time, I'd like to first and foremost welcome the new solicitor, Larry Moran. Please, Mr. Moran, the floor is yours.
Thank you, President Holmes. I'd just like to say thank you first and foremost to the board for the trust that you've reposed in me and in my law firm. Happy, excited, and proud to be here. I have a deep commitment to the Scranton School District. I said this in my interview. My grandfather, to whom I was particularly close, was president here before he started his long career of service in this community. I'm happy to continue that. I got hired just last month on a contract that began only 4 or 5 days ago, but I've just been exceedingly grateful to meet with your very, very able administration a handful of times right now. I can say that the matters that I've been involved in are almost exclusively personnel, litigation, real estate. So because of my duty of confidentiality and the fact that I'm not the holder of that privilege, the board is, I won't be commenting in detail at these public meetings about matters that I discuss with my client in executive session. But if the public has any questions about any legal matter and I'm able to answer it with the permission of the board, I'd be happy to do so. I think we are your partner in this community as much as anything else, and I have a commitment to transparency, and I know that the board and the administration does as well too. So we will always have an eye toward disclosure as opposed to non-disclosure. But to continue just being general, I'm really only prepared to say thank you, and I trust that we can work well together cooperatively for the betterment of this district and the community.
Thank you. Dr. Keating?
Big pressure tonight because our 2 student reps are both very involved in student activities and could not be here tonight, so I am going to try to do my best to fill in. So thank you, President Holmes. We are at that point of the year. I can't believe it's May. We're winding things down, but we are still very busy. First, today, I just want to let everyone know we did have a district-wide internet outage. It was far outside of our control. It was not something that was internal in any way. It had nothing to do with the district, but we're on the way back to restoring that. Things are back up, and hopefully everything will be running smooth. As we said tonight, we finished the PSSAs. I personally would like to thank students, teachers, principals, the IT staff, and everyone who was involved because it is really a team effort to get these done. They are 2 very trying weeks in the education world, and everyone's patience and professionalism was greatly, greatly appreciated. We started our AP exams today. AP exams always run the first week in May, so here we are. So good luck to all of our students who are taking the AP exams. Our Keystone exams, which starts the next round of state testing, begin on May 12th, so you will be getting updates on those. Very important, the annual golf tournament is coming up on Thursday, June 26th. So if anyone's interested in participating, the link to register is available on our website and our social media page. Please come out and support us. It is a very fun-filled day. Today started Teacher Appreciation Week. I'd like to take an opportunity to acknowledge all of our teachers and thank them for all that they do. Harry Wong 101, the most impactful thing in a classroom is a teacher. I will stand by that for as long as I am in the education field and beyond because it is 100% true. Tomorrow starts Nurses Appreciation Week. These are folks that our buildings cannot exist without. When I was here in the past, I had the privilege of working with our nurses and overseeing them, and I was shocked and awed at what they do on a regular basis, and I want to thank all of our nurses. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. It's also National Speech and Hearing Month. It is Asian American Pacific Islander Month and Jewish Heritage Month. May is a busy month. I'd like to extend gratitude toward all of our mental health workers in the district. We can't exist without you. I'd like to thank all of our speech pathologists and our teachers of the hearing impaired. I'd also like to give heartfelt appreciation to the Asian American Pacific Islander community and the Jewish community who are part of the school district in the greater city of Scranton. Last Thursday was National School Principals Day. As somebody who served in the role of both an assistant principal, an elementary principal, and a high school principal, I can tell you that is not an easy job in any capacity, and we want to thank them for all that they do. I'd like to take a moment to congratulate West Scranton High School's Elena Lee. She was the recipient of $2,000 scholarship for the essay she wrote for the Stifel Public Finance National Fabric of Society essay competition. I'd also like to congratulate Scranton High student Josh Caro Esposito. Josh was selected as a finalist for the 2025 Congressional Art Competition, sponsored by Congressman Rob Bresnahan. Some of our students will be attending the Holocaust Symposium tomorrow. This is an annual event, and it's extremely important for our students to be able to attend to grasp the gravity and the seriousness of the events surrounding the Holocaust. Director Merkel is always an avid volunteer for this event, and we are honored to be able to participate. We'd like to congratulate all of our sports seniors. There are a few senior nights left, but for parents of seniors, this is a very emotional time as you're winding down into graduation. So congratulations to all of our senior athletes. My next town hall will be held on Wednesday, May 14th. It is from 5 to 7 p.m. at McNichols Plaza in Southside. I'm very much looking forward to hosting this in-person event, speaking with parents and community members. There is an ability to submit questions, and we're going to try to be able to record the event and then be able to post it for people to watch as well. Tonight is the Times Scholastic Superstar Ceremony. Zarina Mustafina is the Scholastic Superstar from West Scranton High School. 3 students from Scranton High School are there as well: Matthew Hill, Ivy Nereter, if I just killed your name, I'm sorry, and Declan Moran, our Declan who's usually here. Declan was also named the Scranton High IU Scholar of the Year. The West Scranton High School IU Scholar of the Year is Valerie Alea. Tomorrow night, I have the honor of attending the IU Scholar event, where I will be there to congratulate both of those individuals in person. From Scranton High School, I'm going to play the role of Declan. The prom is May 16th at the Hilton. The Honor Society ceremony will be held May 21st at 7 p.m. Awards night is May 28th at 7 p.m. Scranton High hosted their Top 30 luncheon for students and families. Congratulations to the Top 30 at Scranton High. Neil Armstrong hosted a successful Title I Family Engagement Night. 3rd graders at William Prescott had the opportunity to visit the Inverloka Animal Sanctuary. They presented the sanctuary with a $50 donation as a way to help take care of the animals. Northeast Intermediate will host their Honors Night ceremony on Thursday, May 8th. From West Scranton, West Scranton High School will host their Senior Scholar Breakfast on May 9th, followed by the Scholar Ceremony. The prom will be held May 23rd at the Radisson. Invader Awards are May 29th. West Scranton Intermediate will host their Honors Night on May 14th. South Scranton Intermediate will host their Honors Night on May 28th. 6th grade students in the Lambda House held an Earth Day cleanup at West Intermediate. Francis Willard celebrated Take Your Child to Work Day on Friday. And the Scranton Cyber Academy is hosting a flea market on Saturday, May 10th at Isaac Tripp. Thank you all very, very much.
Thank you.
I would say for the parents of seniors out there, it's getting very real right now.
Is Dr. Saylor on?
Wait, let me move this. Dr. Saylor? Dr. Saylor? Yes, I'm here. Okay, do you have anything? I do now. I have you. Okay. Okay. Has the meeting started? Yep, yes it has. We're in the middle of, we've begun already. Do you have anything to share? No report. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. PSBA?
All right, so on May 21st at 12 p.m., there will be a Building Bridges webinar, Series 1, Agree and Disagree Better. Might be a good one. Safety and Security Board Report webinar on May 28th. And PSBA offer nominations are still underway. If anybody's interested, you can send an application to the nomination committee no later than June 1st, 2025 at 5 p.m. That's it.
That's it. Thank you. At this time, the board will welcome public comment. Each speaker will be allowed 3 minutes to speak. Union officials will be allowed 4, and your time may not be passed on. When your time is up, we kindly ask that you finish your sentence and wrap it up. First speaker will be Luann.
Good evening. Luann Heenahan, President, 32BJ Scranton Chapter. I came here tonight to talk about Operation Heroes. It's a program that we've been using, but at your work session, I saw that you had some questions about it, and I watch you at 3 in the morning when I get up. Tomorrow I won't have to watch because I'm here. But I noticed that you had questions about it, and I wanted to share some insights from the committee. We were on a committee that included 21 employees from administrative, maintenance, teaching staff. It took 6 days, and we all gave input via Google form at the end to give what we thought of each program. We did this for each individual program, and Operation Hero was the one that the group picked. Initially, we started out by discussing the district's needs. We examined the information provided by the companies that applied for the RFP, and then we narrowed it down to choices to the top 4, I believe it was. Then we met with those companies, we heard what they had to say. Then we narrowed it down again to, I think it was the top 2 companies, and we brought them back. And then we had a lot of information in front of us. And we're not often given that opportunity to give our input. So this is what maintenance and teachers and everybody that was on the committee got together and thought was the best solution for the Scranton School District. It provides not only work orders, but asset inventory, preventative maintenance programs, event scheduling, and it's all in one easy-to-use platform. Based on my own experience with this, I put in a work order one morning at 5 to 6, and the plumber walked through the door at 20 after 6 to fix the problem I just put in. So it is working. You know, I can only speak to my own experience. But the program we had prior to this, which I won't give the name because this goes out to everyone in the world and they don't need me to say what company it was, but our prior company, I would try and log on and I was never recognized as a user. It just wouldn't let me in, and then when it did put me, I get in and maybe I get one work order done and then it'd bounce me out and say I wasn't recognized as a user. So it just didn't function very well. And I know you want teachers to use...
Keep going, you're a union
You
president.
want the teachers to use the system, but I'm thinking it might be a better option for them to email the custodian 4s and the building supervisors so we can then go to the room and see what the problem is and decide if it's a problem we can do ourselves or do we have to bring somebody else in, like the plumber or the maintenance, or does the room need, does the room really need to be painted? That kind of thing. And then that's our job as building supervisors to kind of assess that. So, that's one, oh, I'm not very good at this. That's one thing. But if you don't approve this, then we have no system to use. We have nothing because we no longer have that other program that didn't work anyway. And then if this goes away, we'll have nothing and we go back to the way things used to be. So if you want us to do our job, and we want to do our jobs, you have to provide us with the tools to enable us to do the best job that we can do. And that's really all I have to say about that. We need the tools to do our job.
I just have one question.
Yes.
I love the feedback. It's a lot of great. Is there any cons to it? Anything you didn't like about it that maybe we can do?
I have not really found anything that I didn't like about it so far. It's very easy to use. It's got a comment section, so I can go back and forth with the tradesmen who came and maybe they said, well, we couldn't fix it today, we had to order parts, and we're expecting the parts to come in tomorrow, and then I have that answer for the teacher.
Okay.
Or for Mr. Coyle, who likes answers. You know what I mean? He likes answers. So, and then that's all in there, and I just have to really go to the work order. And the other thing is, with the other program, I had to dig through it to find my work orders. This one, I can't access the ones for West Scranton High School. I really have no business knowing what's going on here. So I can't access theirs. So I don't have to, but the old program, I had to dig through all of that to get to my own.
Okay.
So I don't have to do that with this. So I don't really see a lot of cons so far with it.
Okay. Well, that was very
but
helpful.
But it's working really well.
Okay. Thank you.
In my opinion.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Amanda, I'm sorry. I always
Van
get your-
Buskirk?
Van Busker?
Good evening, Superintendent and school board members. West Scranton High School's production is coming up really soon. We are in the progress of Tech Week as we speak. We have, our crew is downstairs painting our products. Our cast is working their hardest and their dearest. And the play date is May 16th at 7 p.m. and then May 17th at 2 p.m. and then again at 7 p.m. at the Ritz Theater downtown. And we hope to see you guys come and support our lovely drama club department kids. They've been working very hard lately. I've been here every single night with them until 8 o'clock, working with them and making sure that we put on a great production of The Wizard of Oz this year. So we hope to see you guys come out to the Ritz Theater. It's $10 at the door. Thank you.
Thanks, Amanda. Thanks for all you do, too.
Thank you, Amanda. Could you please work with the central administration to ensure that can we ensure that Sydney's constantly pumping this, putting it out? We want to make sure we're getting this out, so. work with
Yes,
the
we
central
have it
administration.
going through Instagram right now. We have it going through our Facebook page on West Scranton High School Department. So I'm actually going to be sharing more every day.
Perfect, thank you.
If I could just say really briefly, we don't usually get to be on this stage, but Amanda, when I was a senior in this high school, I was drama club president. So I was a cowpoke on this stage once before. So I really appreciate being here and hear the great opportunities. Thank you.
And I think we're also arranging transportation. Now, are we doing that for students, for anybody? How are we making that
We're
work?
going to do a survey to see what students wanted it.
Okay.
Julie was working on that.
Yeah, that would be great. And then if we
It's
could.
down at the Ritz.
Okay, yeah, and I think that would help to get our students, in the West Scranton area, even in the Scranton area, down to the play. So that would be great if we could get that out to the students as well. Thanks.
Make a motion to approve the meeting minutes for April 7, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
On the question? Roll call?
Mr. Casey?
Yes.
Mrs. Chesak?
Yes.
Ms. Fox?
Yes.
Mr. McAndrew?
Yes.
Ms. Merkel?
Yes.
Ms. Trislecki?
Yes.
Mrs. Yanni?
Yes.
Mr. Borthwick?
Yes.
Mr. Holmes?
Yes.
9 affirmative.
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
On the question?
On the question, just quickly in regards to the bill list, we've had a full month of the electric buses in terms of the monthly credit that we are supposed to get. How is that? Is that coming off of our bill? Are we getting a payment from the company?
It's being applied as a credit against the bill, and Ms. Maloney has created a shared drive tracking sheet to show each month that we receive it.
Okay. I assume that at that point, that's not shared with the board, right? That's just administration?
It's an internal working document,
Okay.
correct? Yes.
Roll call?
Mrs. Chesak?
Yes.
Ms. Fox?
Yes.
Mr. McAndrew?
Yes.
Mrs. Merkel?
Yes.
Ms. Trislecki?
Yes.
Mrs. Yanni?
Yes.
Mr. Borthwick?
Yes.
Mr. Casey?
Yes.
Mr. Holmes?
Yes.
9 affirmative.
Okay. Now move on to budget and finance.
I think athletics, actually.
Sorry, athletics, sorry. Athletics.
We have a motion to approve the purchase of band uniforms for West Scranton and Scranton High School per the TIPS Cooperative Contract Number 231001. Purchase is pending solicitor review of cooperative purchasing documents. The financial impact is $80,268.50. Did you want to speak to that at all, Mr. Leffy?
No, just as we reviewed at the work session, and in the consent agenda, inclusive of the consent agenda was a motion for a budget transfer. So the board did just authorize the funding of approximately $80,000 from our budgetary reserve into our student activities funds to approve this or to fund this purchase. Again, we feel this is a very warranted purchase. We've been hearing that some of the band uniforms could be over 10 to 15 years old. And again, this is a TIPS cooperative per our policies in business is we are allowed to use cooperative purchasing, and TIPS is an authorized cooperative purchasing document. I have downloaded all the bidding documents that TIPS has conducted, and we are piggybacking off them. So I will review with Solicitor Moran the compliance with the PA procurement, and once we get that green light, we'll issue the PO.
Thank you.
Second.
I just need a second.
I got you.
On the
Oh,
question?
did you? I'm sorry, I didn't hear
I
you.
just did it.
On the question? Roll call?
Ms. Fox?
Yes.
Mr. McAndrew?
Yes.
Ms. Merkel?
Yes.
Ms. Trislecki?
Yes.
Mrs. Yanni?
Yes.
Mr. Borthwick?
Yes.
Mr. Casey?
Yes.
Mrs. Chesak?
Yes.
Mr. Holmes?
Yes.
9 affirmative.
Budget and Finance?
Okay. So we have a motion to approve the legal bills of Attorney Noah Katz as independent counsel during the legal RFP. Respectfully submitted.
I'll second.
On the question? Roll call?
Mr. McAndrew?
Yes.
Ms. Merkel?
Yes.
Ms. Trislecki?
Yes.
Mrs. Yanni?
Yes.
Mr. Borthwick?
Yes.
Mr. Casey?
Yes.
Mrs. Chesak?
Yes.
Ms. Fox?
Yes.
Mr. Holmes?
Yes.
9 affirmative.
Education? I'm sorry.
We will have a motion to approve collaboration with Friendship House in recognition of Mental Health Awareness Month. As part of the collaboration, Friendship House will display artwork by district students and will be featured on T-shirts and displayed at the Friendship House downtown location at Biden Street and Wyoming Avenue in Scranton.
Second.
On the question? Roll call?
Ms. Merkel?
Yes.
Ms. Trislecki?
Yes.
Mrs. Yanni?
Yes.
Mr. Borthwick?
Yes.
Mr. Casey?
Yes.
Mrs. Chesak?
Yes.
Ms. Fox?
Yes.
Mr. McAndrew?
Yes.
Mr. Holmes?
Yes.
9 affirmative.
We will have a motion to approve special education settlement agreements following legal review and negotiations. Settlement summaries previously provided to the board for review. 3013105 HW.
Second.
On the question? Roll call?
Ms. Trislecki?
Yes.
Mrs. Yanni?
No.
Mr. Borthwick?
Yes.
Mr. Casey?
Yes.
Mrs. Chesak?
Yes.
Ms. Fox?
Yes.
Mr. McAndrew?
Yes.
Ms. Merkel?
Yes.
Mr. Holmes?
Yes.
8 affirmative, 1 negative, motion passes.
Operations?
All right. We have E1, motion to approve West Scranton Intermediate School ceiling design fees to CHA for the design and construction of the West Intermediate Gymnasium ceiling change order. Financial impact, $2,892.83. And the breakdown is total change orders cost was $80,131.81. Fee on construction administration was 3.61%. And the change order fee was you times that together and you get $2,892.83.
Second.
On the question? Roll call?
Mrs. Yanni?
Yes.
Mr. Borthwick?
Yes.
Mr. Casey?
Yes.
Mrs. Chesak?
Yes.
Ms. Fox?
Yes.
Mr. McAndrew?
Yes.
Ms. Merkel?
Yes.
Ms. Trislecki?
Yes.
Mr. Holmes?
Yes.
9 affirmative.
So E2, I don't have an E2, I have E1 on both sides.
Oh, that was my bad, my typo, sorry.
Oh, I got it now, never mind, I see it. All right, so this would be the motion to change order related, okay. Motion to approve change order for costs associated with work to remove the acoustic in the ceiling and provide an opening ceiling for West Scranton Intermediate School Renovation Project number 033029. The breakdown below is GCCO 005, cost $19,427.10 to the general construction contract. MCCO 003, cost $1,979.50 to the mechanical construction contract. ECCO 007, cost $38,400 to the electrical construction contract. And PCCO 004, cost $20,327.21 to the plumbing construction contract. Financial impact is $80,133.81.
Second.
On the question? Roll call?
Mr. Borthwick?
Yes.
Mr. Casey?
Yes.
Mrs. Chesak?
Yes.
Ms. Fox?
Yes.
Mr. McAndrew?
Yes.
Ms. Merkel?
Yes.
Ms. Strzelecki?
Yes.
Mrs. Johnny?
Yes.
Mr. Holmes?
Yes.
9 affirmative.
All right. Next, we're going to have E3, motion to approve purchase of groundskeeping equipment as discussed at the April 28th, 2025 work session. This equipment has been proven effective in meeting the district's needs. Purchasing using PA State Contract Co-Stars number 28329. Financial impact is $49,043.05.
Second.
On the question?
On the question, Mr. Rucker? Is Mr. Rucker here?
He's here.
He's coming.
Mr. Rucker?
Yes,
on
sir.
On this equipment, have you asked the city if they have this equipment?
No, I have not.
Seeing that the fields that are in question, mainly most of them, belong to the city of Scranton, maybe we could table this motion until we get an answer on whether or not the city has been contacted about the care of the fields?
I believe with, and Mr. Laffey, I don't know if you can jump in and assist me with this, the contract that we have with the city, it puts the maintenance of the field solely on the school district.
If they have the equipment, though, I
Yeah.
mean, we could,
So the way that, I'm going to go back to last year, and if Mr. Gentilez is here, he may be able to help me, but we used to have a lease agreement for the fields, and the lease agreement was a three-party lease agreement. It was between the city of Scranton, the Scranton School District, and then the local Little League associations, I believe. I don't believe it's a lease anymore. Bert, you may be able to help me. There's another document that they're using, but it basically assigns, the city assigns the right of responsibility to maintain the fields to either the school districts through a certain period of time. Let's say it's from March until June, and then to the local neighborhood Little Leagues from the next period, where we assume all costs associated with that, including any utilities, any trash removal, and obviously the maintenance and upkeep of it. That's a little bit on the agreement in place. Whether the city has this type of equipment, I'm not aware that they do, but we certainly haven't reached out to them. It's something we can do if you like.
And I just want to also highlight that this isn't just for the leased fields that we get from the city. This can also go to working on our practice fields at both West Scranton Intermediate, also Scranton High School, the softball fields at Scranton High School, West High School, the baseball field at Scranton High School. There's other fields and other locations not just necessarily owned by the city that this would allow us to service better, including
Rob,
even the grass in front of Scranton.
I fully understand that, but if another government agency would actually have this type of equipment or comparable equipment, before we go out and spend $40,000 on this equipment, I'd rather us do our due diligence and find out where we can get this. Matter of fact, there might even be places that we could rent this equipment. I'd rather see the $40,000 go into a school like Westside High School that we needed. And at this, with this motion, I'd ask until we get the suitable answers that this motion be tabled.
So the fields that the city owns, we do all the maintenance on it. We use our own equipment. We've never used their equipment for anything.
Never.
So this would be, okay, so it's never in the
It's-
past.
we've always
shared
utilized our
anything.
own.
Okay. I mean, listen,
that's probably a discussion worth having. I'll second Bob's motion.
So the motion currently is to table this motion. So
Is there a second?
is there, it was seconded.
I
by-
seconded it.
So on the question? Okay, roll call?
Mrs. Chesak?
Yes.
Ms. Fox?
No.
Mr. McAndrew?
no.
Ms. Merkel?
No.
Ms. Strzelecki?
Yes.
Mrs. Yanni?
No.
Mr. Borthwick?
Yes.
Mr. Casey?
Yes.
Mr. Holmes?
No.
4 affirmative, 5 negative. Motion fails.
No, 5. It was 5 affirmative. Or 5, 4 affirmative, 5 negative.
5
So-
negative.
Okay, motion
4.
fails, you're right.
Yeah.
Yes, motion fails, you're right.
So did the motion,
Motion failed. The table.
The table. Now you do.
Okay. So again, on the question of the original motion.
Yeah, I mean, because we have so many fields of our own, and I think you said there's attachments we can get to this equipment to do other things in the future. I mean, we're a $200-some million business or company, if you want to look at it that way. I want our fields and I want our landscaping. I want when people drive past our schools, they're like, wow, look at that school. I want to make sure, that's your first impression when you see a school. So we want to
agree.
make sure we have the equipment to keep up on it.
This isn't necessarily also just to make it look pretty. This also provide additional safety.
No, I know that too,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's more, yeah.
I know.
It saves a lot of man hours, as we discussed before,
I
correct?
have our groundskeeper here now, if you ever have questions on process, on how this could save time and effort for him and his team, but it would absolutely pay for itself in labor over the next couple of years.
And I think it also speaks to all of our students that are in Little League, that use the fields, that they're all our West Scranton students, our Scranton students. They're playing Little League, they're playing all different types of spring and summer ball. So I do think that that's important, that we think of that when we're purchasing this equipment. So it's helping our students even when they're outside of school.
And just using today as an example and the weather we had over the weekend. So if we have any type of rain event or anything else that can impact the sports, the groundskeepers only have a very limited window to get in there and get that done. So we have multiple, as we just highlighted, fields across the district and very little time to get them completed and get them up to playable surface. That's a safe surface for students to operate on.
Rob, I just want to make sure that the due diligence on this equipment is being done, that somebody else doesn't have it, that we might be able to use it or rent it instead of paying $40,000 for it, where we can use it for other items of a long-lasting nature. But it's definitely the wish of the majority of the board, and I call for a vote.
Anyone else?
I just wanted to say, I'm not opposed to this purchase. I am concerned about the price and especially priorities. It took us all these years just to approve band uniforms, like to come up with that money and everything. So like I said, I'm not opposed to it. I'm just concerned about that cost up front.
Is the quote that you have a time-sensitive quote? Do we have a limit on?
I'm having a very difficult time hearing you guys on the back. I'm so sorry.
Does it have a timeline, the quote?
Is it time-sensitive?
No, I would say no. No, this is something we could refresh if needed. I believe on the quote we had, I'd have to pull it up, but I think it was a net 30 or a net 60. I can't, off the top of my head, I don't have that answer, but I do not believe it's time sensitive.
And Director Shirzlaki, with it being co-stars, I'm assuming that pricing is probably firm through whatever the term of that co-stars contract is that they have with them, unless there's additional discounts that have been applied below the co-stars pricing.
What type of discount off the list are we getting?
Off the top of my head, Director Casey, I don't know the exact discounts. It's certainly something we can look at. Again, it's in line with the co-stars contract pricing, which, just like the band uniforms, I will work with Solicitor Moran to make sure that, all the required due diligence has been done with the co-stars organization.
Roll call.
Ms. Fox?
Yes.
Mr. McAndrew?
Yes.
Ms. Merkel?
Yes.
Mr. Zlecki?
No.
Mrs. Yanni?
Yes.
Mr. Borthwick?
No.
Mr. Casey?
No.
Mrs. Chesak? No. Mr. Holmes?
Yes.
5 affirmative, 4 negative, motion passes.
All right, E4, motion to approve elevator service contract to Otis Elevators. The effective date of the contract is 11/15/2025. Financial impact is $9,360 annually, and for 5 years, it's $46,800.
Second.
On the question?
Yes, on the question, when reviewing this, it says early signing discount, a 5% discount will be applied to the above price executed before 6/1/25. So if we're approving this tonight, would this change the 5-year financial impact?
No, I believe the 5% discount's included in the pricing that we have currently. Let me pull up the quote.
I'm just looking at what the motion says and the price on the contract. It says $780 per month payable in advance, and then if you scroll down, just search 5%, because that's what I did. It's,
I asked the same question of the contractor, and that is included in that 780.
the 5%?
Yes.
Okay, so can someone explain that then? I don't
Well,
understand.
yeah, so let me just read the email from the Otis rep. You will still receive, okay, so let's see. Push the warranty period back to 9/9 to align with the two buildings. You will still receive the early signing discount of 5% off of the listed price of $780 per month. So 5% should come off that $780. That's the way I read it, actually.
Right, so then the 5-year won't be 4.6, it'll be 44,460.
Yeah, so we can update the motion if, I think. I'm not
Pat,
sure.
were these bid?
It's a service contract, no, and Otis is the elevator manufacturer. These are for the 3 new elevators that were bid out and constructed over the last couple of years. Otis is the manufacturer, and this is a service contract with them. It's a $9,000 annual cost. It falls below any quote or bidding requirement levels.
So it's
Is this a
always-
time and materials contract, Pat?
Rob, do you have the answer to that?
There are some consumables that would be included. If something happens, and I'm just going to get to an extreme and say that the entire motor fails, that would be something that would then be T&M. But your normal consumables, your normal smaller things are included in the service
Let
contract.
me ask you this. We just put these in, correct?
Correct.
What type of warranty do we have?
The warranty we have with the construction comes out to the 1 year, and that ends, they actually
Pushed it back.
moved them and adjusted them. They were actually getting a couple extra months of warranty on a couple of them, and they put it at the date of the last substantial completion, which is November.
What we're
So we
voting
have
on
1 year.
doesn't begin until 11/5.
Pardon me?
What we're voting on tonight doesn't begin until 11/11 of
Doesn't
this
begin
year.
until November.
I'm having a real hard time hearing on this.
It is difficult, I'm sorry.
It doesn't start till 11/15.
So we're voting on it now, but it won't take effect until November.
When
So we're
did we
doing an
take
early bird.
ownership of the elevators?
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
Pardon me?
When did we take ownership of the elevators? We took ownership of the elevators early winter.
It was in November. It
Pardon
was
me?
November, because they took it from the substantial completion, which of the last elevator was in November, and then they moved the other ones up to just make all the warranties and all the contracts and everything align into that November month.
So it's not, Director Casey, it's not starting until November of this year.
No, I understand that.
And we're just getting ahead of it to get this done so we have it in place because this is an annual requirement of all the elevators in our buildings.
No,
Well, and
I
to get the
understand what you're,
$2,000 discount.
Aaron, I understand what you're saying, but what you just said, it was early winter, and November is still fall,
Well-
and we had some problems with even accepting the elevators.
Yeah, in my head, that's when it gets cold, so I apologize.
No problem.
Yeah, but there is a discount associated with this, Director Casey, so that's the other reason we want to move forward on this right now. Save a little money.
So can I make a motion to amend, or can I amend the motion to include the 5% discount? So the 5-year financial impact will be $44,460.
Second.
On the question. Roll call.
Mr. McAndrew?
Yes.
Ms. Merkel?
Yes.
Ms. Truslecki?
Yes.
Mrs. Yanni?
Yes.
Mr. Borthwick?
Yes.
Mr. Casey?
No.
Mrs. Chesak?
Yes.
Ms. Fox?
Yes.
Mr. Holmes?
Yes.
8 affirmative, 1 negative,
Okay,
motion
that was
passes.
That was a vote to amend.
amended.
To
Now we're
amend
going to
it.
still vote on, any other question on the pending motion?
No, just to clarify, the parts coverage, as was just briefly spoken about, it says due to normal usage and wear, they will repair or replace parts such as motor brushes, operating switch, relay components, plug-in relays, special lamps for cars, hall fixtures, things like that, just so we have an understanding of what's covered under this.
Additionally, there's an exclusion section in that contract. I think it's section 7 or 4. It's in there, the exclusions.
Rob, considering how much money we paid for these, please make sure that we have everything in writing. Going forward, anytime we spend money in this district with vendors, there should not be just verbal communication. There should always be a paper trail for everything, so that if something does go wrong, potentially if you're not here, I'm not here, they're not here, whoever comes after us has documentation to fall back on and say, here you go.
Yeah, that's what we've been utilizing the work order system to do, and that's our kind of our system of record to hold all of that information in one place, easily accessible.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Roll call.
Ms. Merkel?
Yes.
Ms. Strzelecki?
Yes.
Mrs. Yanni?
Yes.
Mr. Borthwick?
Yes.
Mr. Casey?
No.
Mrs. Chesak?
Yes.
Ms. Fox?
Yes.
Mr. McAndrew?
Yes.
Mr. Holmes?
Yes.
8 affirmative, 1 negative, motion passes.
All right, E5, motion to approve a one-year contract for Operations Hero for our work order system. As discussed at the 4/28/2025 school board meeting, financial impact implementation is $14,883.65. Annual cost is $34,041.60.
Second.
On the question.
I have a question. This system, what made it stand out above the other? Because I know you said the top 2 choices were vetted. What made it stand out above the other choice? Just because it's such a financial cost?
So we did a thought exchange. That was the Google form that Ms. Heenahan referenced. And the thought exchange, and I can go back and pull it, but when I looked at the results earlier today, it was ease of use. Getting it simpler to just get it out and usable by the lowest common denominator on people that are tech savvy. We still have some people using flip phones. So we want to be able to get it into people's hands and actually accessible and usable, because if we can't get everyone to utilize it, it's not going to work correctly. So the ease of use was a big driving factor in it.
If people are using flip phones, what are they going to stop their day, go find a computer, and then utilize the system? They're going to be required to use it, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so if you've got somebody who uses a flip phone,
I
how are
can't
they-
force anyone to utilize their own device, but
So we don't have 100% uptake.
That's similar to what the Raptor system, correct?
You can't force anyone to use their own device, but we can provide someone with a district-based device that they can do the work on.
Have we done that for employees who don't have smartphones?
right now, I know I recently just put an order in for iPads for each one of the buildings, including all of the trades positions. Right now, what they are doing is they are going to a computer and utilizing it.
When you were reviewing this, you had a committee, correct?
Correct.
How many people were on the committee?
I believe it was 21.
Okay.
Cost-wise, is this a module-based cost, or is it like an
I'm
all-in package?
Is it a module-based cost or an all-in-one package?
Thank you. It's easier to hear you than it is.
Everybody in the world hears me.
Thank you. There are different modules to it. So the Hero HQ is one portion of it. The events is one portion. The automation section, which will allow the events to control out the HVAC systems, that's one portion.
And we're purchasing all of that?
Yes.
So I have just a couple questions to that. I feel as though I missed something, because I let the work session, we just talked about like the work order portion of this, and now there is inventory, planning, event, automation. There's a lot here, so just the work management is about a third of the cost of the entire package. So I'm just curious on, when someone is speaking about trying this, did they only try the work order part of this? Did we test the other things that we were about to approve? And then also, can you speak to the inventory? Because I'm not really, I know we talked about having one system for the entire district in regards to inventory, so I don't know where we're at with that, and is this the goal, is to use this? So, sorry, there's like 5 questions there.
Okay, so let me hit the inventory section first. So what the inventory section would allow us to do is, let's use the HVAC for an example. The HVAC, we could say that in our storeroom, in our warehouse, I have 300 air filters, 24 by 18 air filters. So instead of them having to go out and wonder, are they going to create a purchase order, go down and order these air filters? Well, I have 300, and as they go and they create the tickets, or not create tickets, but as they go to work the tickets, they're going to say, well, I need to complete this, I need 8 of them. It draws them down, it creates a ticket out for the supply room to have those 8 ready for them, and takes it out of the inventory, and it allows us to establish that par level. So if the filters get below a certain number, let's say we get below 50, and we know it takes us 5 months to get these things, I'm just throwing arbitrary numbers out here, guys. If we know it takes us however long to get it, we know that we already have these on order, so we don't run out of them. So that's one portion of it, and that ties directly into the work order system itself.
So we don't do that right now?
We don't have any record of doing that. We just know that we have air filters. And once we get low, we go that route.
I'm just gonna.
This is why,
interrupt.
these are issues that we're identifying and we're trying to make a correction.
Don't we have, though, maybe I don't remember this correctly, I'm going to look to some of my colleagues who've been on the board here. Didn't we approve an asset management system through, was it Frontline?
Yes.
I thought we had one, and are we not utilizing that one?
That was right before I got here, and that is being utilized right now.
Operations is not utilizing Frontline.
No. The system you previously purchased. Are you utilizing that system?
Frontline was for the IT side. Operations did not have anything that did this.
I think they were using Frontline for like the Chromebooks and stuff, correct?
Correct.
Didn't you just get an inventory system?
No.
You sure?
I was fairly confused on all this, so I was trying to go back to our meetings and our memos, and I looked back exactly 1 year ago. We got a memo from Mr. Rucker saying that Mr. Suma did not like Frontline, and that we were going to be presented with 2 options. And then I went to the next meeting and the next meeting, and I didn't see anything, so I don't know that we were actually, I'm confused on where we're at with that.
Mr. Suma, you
Is the only
built
thing
your
we
own
own?
system, correct?
She asked if you built your own system.
Tracking.
Inventory. How? Okay, so I guess one of my questions would go to you is, the last conversation I recall we had is we wanted some type of district-wide inventory system.
That's when the committee started.
Is that still the goal, or does it make more sense that operations has their own and IT has their own? I just feel like it's clear that we get too much all over the place, because we don't even know what we have or we don't have, and that's a problem. So we have to get this straight and stop having things thrown at us, understand what's what, and I feel we need to get our heads together.
So, Catherine, I agree with you, and for some reason, I believe that the former board did buy an inventory system, and the complaints that I've been hearing from the IT people and the people who basically try to run it is that it wasn't user-friendly. So now are we spending all this money now for another inventory system that we don't know whether or not it's going to work until we get it?
Wait, just one question. Frontline was the HR recruiting tool we had. Wasn't this just another part of the package we could utilize?
Frontline has many components to it, yeah. HR was one of them. We had at one point, I think, a textbook management system with Frontline. Yep. We also have, and it's expiring in June, the IHDM solution, including asset management and help desk management.
So it would have been approved in March of '24 because the start date was April 1st of '24.
And who's
for
using that
HR.
right now?
That's the question.
For HR, are we moving away from Frontline for HR, correct?
For recruiting,
Recruiting.
yeah, we went
We
to
are?
Red Rover.
Did we talk about that?
Yep. we
Oh,
went to
yes,
Red
Red
Rover.
Rover, okay, Red
Yes.
Rover, okay, yeah.
So I think it looks like we're kind of moving away from Frontline on almost everything.
So that was approved I came here April 8th.
Can you repeat what you just said?
Sure. April 1st was the start date for that.
And what was it called again?
We're on a quarterly billing cycle because we, as you noted, or as you said, we were looking at alternative solutions to the asset management.
Mm-hmm.
We switched from an annual billing cycle to a quarterly billing cycle, which would allow us flexibility to pivot to a new system without locking us into a long-term contract. The current invoice is for the second quarter of 2025, which expires in June of 2025.
Can you repeat what that system was called? And then can anyone answer if anyone is using it?
Mr. Holmes?
Oh, it is under Frontline.
It's under Frontline.
Oh, okay. Okay. I thought you were trying to say there was another. Okay, so this is
IHDM solutions, including asset management and help desk management. Start date 4/1/2025. End date 6/30/20. That's the last quarterly billing.
Okay, so this is the system under Frontline, and I understand that IT does not like it. So is this being utilized by anybody in the district at this time?
I do not utilize it as a superintendent. That's what I can tell you.
So we're paying for this and not using it.
I believe it looks like it was at one point used by our asset manager for his inventory, which while we were demo Operations Hero, we started utilizing the Operations Hero, and it looks like we've been using it for IT help desk. Mr. Suma's coming up because I'm reading actually an email from him, so I'm glad he's stopping up.
That's okay. Yeah,
More
so-
important,
so
why aren't
at-
you presenting this instead of Mr. Rucker? You're the IT director, correct?
I am, yeah.
And this would come under your bailiwick.
So the program itself is a product that comes out of my budget, yes. And in the conversations I had with Mr. Laffey, were at the very least from a help desk standpoint, that we need to get through the end of this school year before I can implement another help desk that is free of charge that we're going to transition to, and that we can eliminate that piece of that frontline contract. And I believe at that point, the only thing remaining would be absent management that we're using frontline for.
Which is ASOP for substitute teachers.
Right. And
But it
that's,
doesn't work for the inventory, am I correct?
for our standpoint of what we need for inventory with our Chromebooks in particular, we're utilizing the student information system, and we assign each one of those devices to those students in their demographic record. So if you went into our student information, brought up a student, you'd be able to find out what device was assigned to them. Outside
Chris.
of that, we know we have active panels in every classroom. We know we have printers, copiers, where they're located.
But didn't we have an inventory system for the Chromebooks, and there was major complaints that the people couldn't enter in the proper information on it?
At the time, prior to my arrival, I believe it was being used through Frontline. But
Pardon me?
when it was being utilized through Frontline, yes, through that asset management piece.
So I'm correct in what I'm saying.
I would say so. Again, prior to my arrival, they were using Frontline asset management for the Chromebook inventory.
Basically, it's a lot of confusion right now, so I think we need a motion to table this. More information needs to be provided, more research, because there are too many questions right now that if we're having this many questions, 30 seconds before we vote, more information needs to be provided in writing. So what I would make a motion to table this.
So I'll make the motion.
I just have a question. What's the,
Hold on, it's a motion.
yeah, if we don't vote on,
What's the,
yeah, what's the like, we're gonna have nothing to use, correct?
We're voting on Frontline for this piece of this contract?
No, we're voting on
Is there
operations
discussion
here.
after
Oh,
a
I'm sorry.
motion to table?
I'm sorry.
is there a discussion for the motion to
But
table?
Sean,
I was just going
from
to
what I
ask,
understand, we didn't.
Point of order, real quick, point of order.
We're using anyway.
Point of order.
There's a motion on the table, there's at least one, if not 3 seconds.
We will go around and do a roll call
We have
first.
to roll call the motion to table this.
I need the person who made the motion.
I did.
A couple of
And
us said
and the
second.
second.
I'll
Pick
second
a
it.
name.
Thank you.
Kevin's here, he can help too.
Okay, now we're going to roll call vote the motion to
There
table.
you go.
Ready? Ms. Trizlecki?
Yes.
Mrs. Yanni?
No.
Mr. Borthwick?
Yes.
Mr. Casey?
Yes.
Mrs. Chesak?
Yes.
Ms. Fox?
Yes.
Mr. McAndrew?
No.
Ms. Merkel?
No.
Mr. Holmes?
Yes.
6 affirmative, 3 negative, motion passes.
So, can I ask my question now? Like, what are we gonna be using going forward now?
well, that's going to be my question. Rob, when does the demo end?
Next week.
Can we call them to get an extension of the demo and tell them that this is coming back up on the motion, on the June 5th agenda?
I can try, we've been with them 6 months now, but I absolutely will reach out.
Tell them the board has required additional information to make an informed vote, which will happen on June 5th. And we will provide the information that was asked here today.
There's a lot of questions. Is there any way to request a list of the individual questions?
Yes, there's also board minutes. When you get a copy, you'll get a copy of the board minutes.
Okay.
So,
We also have, Mrs. Maloney's also taking notes for our tomorrow.
is there a way to back up the information or take down before we lose?
We would have to export,
An Excel or something? Okay.
it's about 6 months worth of
Moving
work.
forward, we can't put ourselves in a
1
position
week
where we're up
before.
against the wall like this, though. If we don't approve of the motion, technically, we could potentially lose this. We have got to move on any and all of our systems faster and sooner. I understand 6-month trial, but we should have been voting on this, or at least discussing this 3 or 4 months ago. Now we're to the point where our back's against the wall, that we're kind of being forced, and we're trying to get away from that. Not just, I'm not coming at you, Rob, I'm talking about in general in this district. We have to get away from that last second, shot. If it goes in, we win. If it doesn't, we lose. We can't operate like that. So just moving forward, we really, truly need to give ourselves a lot more time going in so that instances like this don't happen. If we're having this many questions, 30 seconds, we have our duty and responsibility to table. If we need that many questions answered 30 seconds prior to voting. We can't have that. That doesn't reflect well on the district, on us as a governing body. We need to do better.
I'm going to ask a question. We are going to ask for an extension to June 5th. We have a work session the Tuesday after Memorial Day. We have a voting meeting the first Monday in June. If there is a nominal fee to extend it, I am going to ask the board for consensus so we don't lose that information before an informed vote can be made.
Agree.
Can I just ask a question really quick too? Because there was a jump to table, which I understand, but we also could have approved this with just the work order aspect, correct?
I'm having a,
Okay,
still am
so
having a very.
I understand why there was a jump to table this, but we could also approve it with just the work order management system, correct? If I see on the contract that we have, there were 4 or 5 additional parts added, such as inventory and such, but we can approve just the work order system, which is what we've been talking about. I think that's information we need too. If you have conversations and it comes back that we need to take a consensus on just approving the work order and not all of the other parts, which could probably be added on, just like Frontline at another time, but it seems crucial that we have a work order system. So I'm
Correct.
just stating that we might need to come back as a board and just approve the work order part of this.
And I agree, that's why I motioned to table, because again, that's a thought. Until we get something in writing, I don't believe we act on thoughts. Until we get something from the company in writing, and I have said this a million times, emails save our lives. Until that company responds with an email saying, yes, we agree to this, or no, we don't vote. We shouldn't. It's irresponsible. So until they say, you can vote on just this part, we'll accept that, great. But until I have something in writing from the said company, I don't want to guess, and I do not want to vote on a possibility.
Wait, is that correct, that we don't have anything in writing, or you don't know for sure if we could just vote on the work order system part of this?
Well, as Director Strzelecki, did I say that correct? Okay. As she said, this is module-based, so each one of those parts of that quote that you see are individual modules.
It's all broken down.
So it's broken down.
The work order management system would have been $7,441 per year starting July 1.
So here's what I did. On our staff meeting tomorrow, there are 2 directives from me. First, we are going to need a memo of all of the components of Frontline we own and who's currently using them and how. That will be in your board packet for Friday. Next, we're going to have a breakdown for Mr. Rucker of the parts of Operations Heroes, who's going to be using them and how in detail. We'll also answer the specific question of, can we partial this out, or does it have to be bought as a full package, and how would the partialing of that work?
Okay.
In addition to that, the only other thing that I need to clarify is we can't lose that information. So if there is a nominal fee, I will be coming to President Holmes to ask for consensus to get us to June 5th.
But also, we do have the ability to, if you get this information, do a consensus in lieu of the voting meeting and then ratify it. So again, providing, I understand, all the information is presented to us in writing, send it to us, so we can get all the questions answered. We can still do a consensus right now so that we potentially don't lose anything, and then ratify it at the June meeting. But the point being, again, if we're having this many questions, that is why the motion was tabled. It was not a jump. I just can't stand to see we have this many questions on something we're spending money on. We have got to stop doing that.
Yeah,
That is why it was
Dr.
made.
Keating, I have one question,
Yes.
and I really don't know that much about IT,
Yes.
except that I predicted that the system would fail when everybody else said it wouldn't. Why is this under Mr. Rucker and not Mr. Suma?
Well, because it started, the committee was put together for a work order management system, Director Casey. So if the HVAC system breaks in West Scranton High School, it's going to go in the work order management system. There are other pieces to this, so that is why I'm saying you're going to have a detailed memo with all of that information. If you have a detailed memo explaining what we own in Frontline and who's currently using it, and a full breakdown of all the pieces of Operations Hero and who would be using them, and an answer to if it can be partialed out or not partialed out, would that answer all current questions?
I want to add one.
Wait a minute, Tommy. I do have a question on this. And I understand that it's from Mr. Rucker's department. But Mr. Suma is the IT guy that we brought in.
Correct.
Because we wanted to upgrade our IT department. But now it seems like Mr. Rucker is calling the shots on the IT department, and if it doesn't work, we're going to come back and we're going to say to Mr. Suma, what happened? Because nobody's going to remember this meeting here tonight. Mr. Suma is ahead of all IT.
That's
And
why
it
it's all
should,
going to be...
when it came about, it should have been brought together, and Mr. Suma should have been given the information. And he should have oversaw it in conjunction with Mr. Rucker.
I'm not arguing, which is why you're going to get answers to all those questions.
I think Mr. Suma's using a different thing for IT.
He's using the student
Something
information
I could
management
read it.
system. Mr. Borthwick.
So, one of the things I didn't get a chance to bring up that I think is relevant for all of us to hear is, and I brought this to Mr. Laffey's attention. There have been multiple times where I've heard from educators who have used the system that things are getting checked off as complete that aren't being done. So, that's another thing that we need to be looking at, because if there's a work order that goes in and then it gets marked as complete but wasn't completed, we're not going to know that. It's going to show as complete on the administrative end. But I've had more than one teacher bring that to my attention. I brought it to Mr. Laffey's attention as well. But I think that's worthy of our consideration, because we need to have checked if we're going to use the system at some point.
Was that though with School Dude, or the previous system?
No,
School
this
Dude?
one.
Who's-
That's with this new Operations Hero?
Yeah, Operations
Who has
Hero.
access to the Operations Hero right now? Is it everybody in the district?
Currently, we have the maintenance staff using it.
And that's it? So the only
That's-
people who are putting
The ones putting the tickets in are the maintenance, the building supervisors and all that. We don't have really many teachers in the system, so.
No, so if a teacher says to a maintenance person, I need this done, and then it gets marked as done, it might not have actually been done. So we need a check and balance if we're going to utilize this system. Like I said,
That's more of honestly, it wouldn't be a system fault, that would be more of a manpower checking.
But currently, right now, it's really only been tasked out to the maintenance team, right?
It's only been tasked out to the maintenance teams.
So if there's any teacher request, it would have to be reported to their building supervisor, much like Luann just probably requested that they do when she
Correct.
spoke in public comment, okay?
All right, Mr. Rucker, can you please get back to us as soon as possible with written information so that we can potentially either, one, have a consensus, or if we needed a meeting, but just going forward,
I have one more question, I'm sorry.
Please.
Regarding the contract, is a one-year term typical for this company, or can we do extended terms? Only because the implementation cost is so high that I feel like a one-year contract, if we decide not to go further with it after that, it's a waste of $14,000.
The answer is yes. Yeah, yes.
We can extend it for longer?
Oh, yes, yes.
Is there a discount if we extend it, if we do a contract for a longer term, is there going to be a discount?
I'll get that information for you.
So that'll
Do we have
also
it
be
in
added
writing
to
that
the
we can
packet.
extend it?
And that's another thing I wanted to know
Sorry.
too. As we look to take out some of these modules, there may be some additional, there could be like bundling discounts if you buy all. So, not only can we look at an extended term, to see savings, but if we bundle some of the features, there could be some volume discounts
And
there also.
I understand we want to move on, so I just really quickly just wanted to clarify that this says that we could cancel at any time with a 30-day notice. I agree with the very high implementation fees, but I would just want to actually confirm that that's nothing we have ever says that really says that, so I'd like to confirm that. And then just back to what Mr. Suma said, he said that he uses the student information system for the computers, but for everything else, we just know what we have. But this was a huge thing when we brought him in, that we were gonna have a district-wide inventory. So with your information you're gathering, can we just get clarification on that and what we're doing moving forward? Because that's concerning to me. Thank you.
I think one last thing too on that, just to build on that, kind of like what you've set up, Dr. Keating, for the tiers and the RFPs, and I'm not asking for this to be in our packet on Friday or anytime soon, but maybe you could think about putting together something for all of our systems, for our asset management, our work orders, our ASAP, our student information systems, and what components there are, and as you said, who's using what, maybe for all of our systems. That might be helpful for us as
There's
a
a
board.
lot. I'm going to tell you something, I'm still struggling to get my arms around everything.
I know. So think about how we feel.
I think we talked about that when you first got here.
Yeah, like I'm going to tell you, I've been here over a year. I am still struggling with who has what system in what building and is using it for what. I will not sit up here and say I have my arms around
But
that.
as you learn, if you could share that with us as a board, I think that would be
I
helpful.
can, through the principals and everyone else, I know Rob DeLuca and I started working on something like this last year with who's using what, so, yeah.
Okay, before we move on, I do have a question. Something was stated during public comment that I feel needs to be addressed. So not to backtrack, but with the former system, it was stated that some individuals were never recognized as a user. Do we know if anything like that has been investigated as far as like it not recognizing the users, or were they just unable to use the system this whole time? Like, did we contact the support team from that system or anything like that?
Okay, so it's hard to hear, so I'm going to restate what your question is. With the previous system, there were users that were not identified, such as Ms. Heenahan, and if we reach out to support.
Yeah, like, did we do anything to help
Yes,
fix that?
we did try.
And it was still unsuccessful? Like, did we contact the company itself?
Yes. So I know that there was, with Ms. Heenahan in particular, and I don't know if she's still here to speak to it, she would sign in, and one day she would be identified as a user, and then she could go in later that same day or maybe the next day to go to sort her system, and then all of a sudden she's no longer accepted. And then it'd be like that for a couple of days, and then maybe it would work and maybe it wouldn't. And then there were high latency issues where you would log into the system and then it would pinwheel and then time you out. And then there was multiple issues that we tried.
Okay, so they didn't have any sort of solution for that?
I'm sorry, say that?
The company didn't have any sort of solution that would...
It was pretty much presented that it was functioning as intended.
Okay, all right, thanks.
Okay. Next we have E6. Let me just find it here. All right, motion to reject the proxy floor bids. The lowest responsible bidder offered a price of $398,812.90.
Second.
On the question?
What is this for, Ty? I couldn't hear him.
Motion to reject the proxy floor bids. That's what we talked about earlier.
We're going to reject the epoxy floor bids, and there is a second motion to accept the change order for the quartz tile.
Okay.
On the question? Roll call?
Mrs. Yanni?
Yes.
Mr. Borthwick?
Yes.
Mr. Casey?
Yes.
Mrs. Chesak?
Yes.
Ms. Fox?
Yes.
Mr. McAndrew?
Yes.
Ms. Markle?
Yes.
Ms. Strzelecki?
Yes.
Mr. Holmes?
Yes.
9 affirmative.
All right, and finally, E7. Motion to approve change order GCCO005 West Scranton Intermediate Flooring to modify hallway and cafeteria carpet to quartz tile flooring. Cost is $132,320.41 plus bond increase cost of $1,984.81, which brings your final financial impact of $134,305.21.
Second.
On the question? Roll call?
Mr. Borthwick?
Yes.
Mr. Casey?
Yes.
Mrs. Chesak?
Yes.
Ms. Fox?
Yes.
Mr. McAndrew?
Yes.
Ms. Merkel?
Yes.
Ms. Strzelecki?
Yes.
Mrs. Yanni?
Yes.
Mr. Holmes?
Yes.
9 affirmative.
Personnel?
Okay, F1, motion to approve personnel report as attached. All
Second.
hires are contingent upon all background checks and clearances.
Second.
On the question? Roll call?
Mr. Casey?
Yes.
Mrs. Chesak?
Yes.
Ms. Fox?
Yes.
Mr. McAndrew?
Yes.
Ms. Merkel?
Yes.
Ms. Strzelecki?
Yes.
Mrs. Yanni?
Yes.
Mr. Borthwick?
Yes.
Mr. Holmes?
Yes.
9 affirmative.
Vendor relations?
Motion to reject the...
Excuse me, instead of a motion to reject, I think we're going to call for a motion to table.
Motion to table.
Pardon me?
It's a motion
Instead
to
of a
table.
motion to reject, that should be a motion to table.
Motion to table the security services bids.
Second.
Second.
On the question? Roll call?
On the question, can we just clarify that we're slowing this process down a little bit and that's why we're tabling it this time?
Correct. We're slowing the process down to gather additional information, so that's why we're changing to a motion to table.
Roll call?
Mrs. Chesak?
Yes.
Ms. Fox?
Yes.
Mr. McAndrew?
Yes.
Ms. Merkel?
Yes.
Ms. Strzelecki?
Yes.
Mrs. Yanni?
Yes.
Mr. Borthwick?
Yes.
Mr. Casey?
Yes.
Mr. Holmes?
Yes.
9 affirmative.
Okay, H8. Motion to approve food service equipment bids. I so move.
Second.
On the question? Roll call?
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Ms. Fox?
Yes.
Mr. McAndrew?
Yes.
Ms. Merkel?
Yes.
Mr. Zlecki?
Yes.
Mrs. Yanni?
Yes.
Mr. Borthwick?
Yes.
Mr. Casey?
Yes.
Mrs. Chesak?
Yes.
Mr. Holmes?
Yes.
9 affirmative.
There is one more,
H9.
H9.
It was an attachment.
That's what I was looking for. Okay. The award of food service management contract for the 2025-2026 school year to Aramark Education Services, LLC, based on the results of the request for proposed proposal process. Total cost is, what is it, 4 million?
Yes.
What is it, Pat?
$4,955,253.11 with a guaranteed profit of $1.5 million.
I so move.
Second.
On the question. Roll call.
Mr. McAndrew?
Yes.
Ms. Merkel?
Yes.
Mr. Zlecki?
Yes.
Mrs. Yanni?
Yes.
Mr. Borthwick?
Yes.
Mr. Casey?
Yes.
Mrs. Chesak?
Yes.
Ms. Fox?
Yes.
Mr. Holmes?
Yes.
9 affirmative.
Thank you. All right. There are two things that are remaining. One, I want to first and foremost say to all of our teachers in the school district, first and foremost, thank you. None of us are up here without you. Every single professional on this planet owes a debt of gratitude to a teacher, whether they like to admit it or not. You are the backbone of our nation and of our, just everything that we are. So we appreciate the incredible hard work you do. Sometimes it goes unthanked, people don't understand or respect the incredible work ethic and job that you have, but again, we're here because of you. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts for all the work you've done. Now, I'd like to take a moment to offer condolences on the loss of a remarkable woman who served the district for over 40 years. Her impact will not be forgotten. Mrs. Sandy Tompkins was not just a name in the office of Northeast Intermediate. She was the heartbeat of it. For decades, she poured herself into the district, working tirelessly. Even through the summers, perfecting student schedules, it was something she took great pride in. She once said, if the school is going to run smoothly, it has to start here. And she truly lived that. She rarely took time off, not because she couldn't, because she wouldn't. She believed that school needed her, and we all knew that was true. She was tough when she needed to be, but always fair. And then everyone who came back to her desk, she offered the same compassion, structure, and support. But what many do not know is what quiet kindness that defined her and her spirit. Each year, she privately mentored one student, giving them encouragement, guidance, and hope. She gifted jackets, shoes, and clothing to children in need, never seeking credit or recognition. At one point, she even helped support an entire family quietly and selflessly. Mrs. Tompkins resisted retirement not because she feared change, but because she has, excuse me, I know her personally, so forgive me, because her work was her passion, her purpose. She wasn't here for a paycheck. She was here for the children, the staff, and this community. And when she finally stepped away, they weren't just big shoes to fill. They were irreplaceable presence to be honored. There may never be another Miss Tompkins in that office, but we carry her legacy in every hallway, every classroom, and every memory. Behind her strength was an immense heart, and her impact will be felt for generations. To the Tompkins and Mendez family, on behalf of the Scranton School District, please accept our deepest condolences. Your family's loss is our collective loss. We will mourn with you, but we will also celebrate the life that she gave and the little she asked in return. She left all of us a little bit better with her departure. Rest in peace, Sandy Tompkins, and to the family again, our thoughts and prayers are with you. With that, motion to adjourn.
Ty, before we adjourn, I would like to address something similar to what you just did, and it was kind of close to me. Over the last couple weeks, we lost a former school director in Marianne Sinclair. Marianne lived right across the street from here, Mary Ann served with me for over 12 years. Her heart was always with the Scranton School District and West Side. If there was ever a person that believed in West Side, it was Mary Ann. But more important, she believed in all the children and the employees of the Scranton School District. Mary Ann was a very unique individual that if she believed in what you were doing, you had somebody that would back you to the hilt. And God forbid you'd be on the wrong side of the table from Mary Ann. She wasn't afraid to let you know it. The superintendent, Mary Ann was the type of person that gained the respect from everybody. And matter of fact, Al O'Donnell's father, who was superintendent at the time, coined the phrase of Mary Ann Sinclair as Queen Mother. You did not cross Mary Ann Sinclair. Whether or not you were for or against her, she believed in what she did. I'd like to extend the sympathies to her husband, Jack, and to her family, her sons and daughters, and her grandchildren. And the district was better off for Mary Ann, not worse. That's all I have.
Motion to adjourn.